So here's they make that kind of cool lead you were talking about. So to start off, this is the MIDI file. Basically, I changed it a bit from what was on SoundCloud, but so what that is it's just a basic little melody here, and I went into this little doohickey, and you can click pitch bend here if you use Logic, and this is what the pitch bend looks like. And if you use Logic, you can just go in here, click pitch bend, and up here I selected the automation curve tool, so you can do like curves and stuff with it. Anyway, so more about the patch though, because I bet that's what you care about more. Put up massive, and so start off, just hit new sound. I'm going to turn that off for now because we're going to use MIDI macros in a second. So I actually started off, I just used the Square SAW1 oscillator, nothing fancy, but I set this to 4-th. I put this about like 3/4 of the way, and this kind of far down, so it sounds like. And you know how you're changing that? That's what the core of the sound is going to be, is by changing these two parameters. But first, we want that, and then second, I'm going to switch this all the way to series, and this all the way up. I'm going to filter 2 and not filter 1, and that's important. I'm going to choose band reject. Put the cutoff like there, the bandwidth down a bit, the resonance, yeah, it's fine. It doesn't really matter for now. Turn that all the way up, this all the way down. And then I'm going to routing here. And the reason I chose filter 2 is because I want to have this insert effect 1 be affecting this entire thing before it goes to the filter 2. So I click insert 1 here. I mean, you could do it like down here, I guess, but choose insert 1 here, turn on insert 1, I choose simple delay, and I turn dry wet all the way down. I can leave the time up like that or down a little bit. It sounds better down. So I'll turn the dry wet up just so you hear how it sounds. Get that little effect in there, a little delay. Okay, next, what I did was I'm going to turn on insert 2, put insert 2 there, and choose the bit crusher. Turn the crush all the way up. So I've turned the dry wet up here. You can hear how it kind of changes that. But we'll keep dry wet for both the inserts down at 0 for now. Next, I'm going to go into here and use Classic 2 because I like distortion. And this is I wrote the melody on a guitar, so I like this distortion. Sounds nice that way. Use the Dimension Expander because this is massive and everybody uses the Dimension Expander. Turn that down a little bit. Then voicing, I'm going to set it to mono, legato, have the glide time a little bit less than half. And I'm going to use envelope 1 here. Turn that all the way down, that all the way down, that all the way down, that all the way down. So then you attack up pretty far, a little less than half, I guess. And I'm going to go to the vibrato rate, the vibrato depth. Turn up the attack a little bit more. Because I like vibrato, and when you're like making leads, vibrato is an easy way to set the lead apart instead of doing like EQing and stuff. Speaking of EQ, let's turn the high shelf up a little bit because I like, a little high on the end of it. In white noise, I'm going to use high metallic because the noise also will set it apart in the mix. Okay, so that's that. Let me delete that for a second because that's not going to control vibrato. Alright, next I'm going to take MIDI macro 1 and assign it to the wavetable position and turn it almost all the way up. Do the same thing with the intensity. Turn that down a bit. Turn that up. And we can change all this later, and you can change it to taste, but this is basically how I did this. Map the cutoff to it too. The bandwidth up a bit. The same thing with the dry wet with both the inserts. And almost up to halfway. A little less than halfway. It sounds better when you're like doing this kind of modulation if the noise is a little less loud. So do it in the opposite direction on the amplitude. And then I'm going to go into the MIDI file here. Hit Command 6. 1 second! 1 second! Sorry. So I'm going to go into here, click Modulation, which is MIDI control number 1. Yeah. So I'm going to do it like that. And if I play it right now, I did something like, you can just do, I actually did it totally random, so it doesn't really matter. So you can hear that now. They're going to massive. Oh, normally you have to hit MIDI learn, but it's already, because the default's already set to the mod wheel, which is what that is. You can do that. So I don't actually have a keyboard with me, so I didn't feel like making or playing it, you know. So you can just go into the MIDI file and change it, and you can do that in any DAW. I know Ableton does it pretty well, so you can adjust it, and it just saves to the MIDI file because it's just another MIDI message. So that's it, really, and you can change it around. It sounds too lame, really. You can add effects to it if you want. I add delay, reverb, I add brick wall limiting because it sounds good in this instance. So let's turn that up. And look, people will get pissed at me, but I added overdrive before the limiter and turned the gain all the way up on both of them and have the output set at -6 dB. So what that's going to do is it's just basically brick walling it, and you can hear, and the gate, I like gate effects. It makes it funky. So yeah, that's about it, really. Not exactly the same thing, but same principle. So hope that's helpful.